works. Hold on.
David, is my screen dropping at all?
No, you're just fine.
Okay, so you just see me make these really sad faces. Cause,
Yeah,
cause the, cause the streaming software is dropping.
Really?
Yeah, it just drops out and then it says reconnecting and then it restarts everything.
What do you think that is? Do you think that's you? Do you think that's Helen? Do you think that's
I have no
just
idea.
the software?
It happens when Helen drops out. So
probably me then. Can you guys hear me more clearly? Am I dropping?
You're not dropping
yeah,
now.
you're fine.
You're fine now. Okay, so I'm just gonna go on.
Yeah,
Is that okay? All right.
I'll edit this one.
Okay. So I just wanted to go back to your Instagram page, Helen. So
Yeah.
how did you get started with meeting your I guess your other partner? I'm not sure, like Reggie, you said, and like what do you so you I Instagram is more like you post pictures kind of thing, right? So it's not like a full review site. So how do you like how does your Instagram page how is it structured and why do you structure it like that?
Well, we do have a recommendation thing.
Mm.
We have like our own hashtag. We have like Manga Nation recommendations. So like we kind of treat it as like the My Anime list site. We review it. We recommend stuff to people, and we just post like random pictures. Like there's no real structure,
Hmm.
but like the only structure we really have is like the recommendations and the reviews. That's about it.
Wow, that's just like Daijoubu podcast. We have
Oh, look at
we have
that!
no real structure whatsoever. We just kind of do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, except instead of
So much nothing.
19,000 people, we have one. So,
We're getting there. We're getting there.
yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. So you said you post these reviews on your Instagram. So do you just post a photo of maybe like a photo from a specific shoujo or manga, and you just say, "You should read this"? Is this how you guys do it? Is that how you guys do it, or?
I kind of just review it. Like for Orange, I reviewed the first episode and I was talking about how the art was, how the animation was, and the storyline, how they like how closely it was to the manga. I really like it's like a long paragraph. I actually review it, but the other admin, she's just kind of like, it's cool, guys, go check it out. I'm like, okay.
Okay, so let's go into like how you review things. So you said that you talk about like the art, the how close it is to the story. What goes into how you review things?
Well, the story, I usually like to watch the entire thing and then just like the story is always the central point for me rating it. Like if it's a really good story, I'm gonna like it's automatically like a 7 for me. And then I start looking at the art and the animation. Like for example, like there's a anime called Hiro no Kakura, and like it had so much potential. But then
Wait, time out, Helen. Time out, Helen. You're like a blob now, and we can't even see your. Yeah, you're literally like.
She became a Picasso
Yeah,
or a
yeah,
Picasso.
yeah. Helen, I think your Skype is lagging like a lot,
bad. How bad?
like really bad, like speed dial bad.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm reading this.
you're still a blob.
Am I still lost
Yeah, yeah. So
now?
you're you're like really highly pixelated.
Mm,
God. Okay.
let's think. Helen, can you turn your camera off?
Yeah, I would also suggest relogging and just logging back in.
No, I think it has
But
something to do with the internet or like how much bandwidth the camera might be using, and just use audio maybe.
yeah,
Oh, I can't
Eh.
see my video going.
It's really scary.
yeah, I know.
I'm turning it off. I'm turning it off.
I can't even see Christian. Christian's like, he's just smiling to the camera.
Uh,
That's what I always do.
Oh.
Christian, you're still fine. So
Hmm. And she's back. I should have turned it off earlier because it's so scary.
I want to see what I look like.
You can see it later. You look fine now. It's back to
yeah,
normal.
you look
You
fine
see me?
now. But I don't know why this is happening. I feel like it was just fine last week when we tested it out. But
Yeah,
Probably just me. It's just me.
Yeah.
My bad.
it's okay. Let's go into our next segment. How about
Okay.
that? Because I
Yeah.
don't remember what we were talking about with your Instagram page, but
Yeah.
uh, with it failing this much, like we just keep losing track of conversation.
Yeah.
So, picking it back up, yay!
Yay.
Now we're going to talk about shoujo in general and what exactly it is, and going from there.
Mhm.
So, what exactly is shoujo, Helen?
Well, shoujo is usually for like preteens and teenagers. That's the target range. So it's usually that's why it's usually more girly. Like they target preteen girls and teenage girls. So it's usually about romance and a little bit of comedy. But yeah, the girl usually gets whatever she wants.
Hmm.
That's
Okay.
basically shoujo.
Okay.
Cool.
And
Cool.
like I've noticed that the art style of shoujo is like I feel like that's where they started making the gigantic eyes in
Yeah.
shoujo like
Yeah,
manga. And
for
so
sure.
like whenever you see gigantic eyes anime, typically it'll be, a shoujo geared towards girls, younger women kind of thing.
Right.
And honestly, I love shows like if I see a show and they have gigantic eyes, I know that their animation quality is typically going to be awesome. Like
Okay.
Yeah.
everything Kyo Annie, like sure, like everything's just cute girls doing cute things like geared towards girls, but I think it's going to be super beautiful just because like I see the eyes and I know like the studio kind of thing.
I think
But
that I think that kind of relates back to like the fashion that they have in Japan, where like they want the woman to have like big eyes, look cute, stuff like that.
mhm.
It's totally where it's
That's
from.
interesting. I've never thought of it that way. Huh.
Okay, since shoujo typically has, or it's geared towards females typically, would you consider all of Studio Ghibli's animations to be a shoujo? And do you know what I mean when I say that? Because like all of Studio Ghibli films have a strong female protagonist, like
Yeah.
Spirited Away, Chihiro, like Mononoke, the freaking princess is the main
Mm.
character,
Mm.
and like Howl's Moving Castle, like a girl trying to look for whatever the castle. I don't even remember the plot to Howl's Moving Castle, but and Kiki's Delivery Service, like
Right.
about a like independent witch.
Mm.
So.
I would definitely say it's shoujo because Miyazaki has said himself that he wants to empower young girls specifically. So,
Mhm.
and
So you
it
said you
does.
would? You would?
Yeah,
Is what you
yeah.
said?
I would definitely consider it shoujo.
Wow.
Would you
Mhm.
guys not consider it shoujo?
See, so I'm a total plebe when it comes to shoujo, and the only thing that differentiates shoujo and non-shoujos to me is like the art style, like we were talking about earlier, where everything's like super flowy, super light colored, and like there's like sparkles and flowers everywhere. I'm like, that's a shoujo. And then I'll watch, Studio Ghibli. I'll watch Spirited Away. I'm like, that's not a shoujo because it's not like super pretty or whatever, and the art style doesn't like fit it. But
Studio Ghibli's not super pretty?
no, not pretty.
Oh,
Not pretty in the sense that like going back
I
to
don't
Nozaki,
know.
Nozaki-kun, for example, like that guy that draws shoujo manga. Have you seen Nozaki-kun?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
for sure, for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
yes.
So yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I kind of is interesting.
So you see shoujo as like pretty much like romance and a specific like one linear art style,
Me,
David.
yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of do, but that's
Okay.
that's my very like narrowly scoped
Yeah.
view of shoujo. Like I
Yeah.
don't know
What a
anything beyond that.
boy. What
I
like what a
know.
male
I know.
way to think of shoujo.
What a
That's so
Dragon
boy
Ball Z
answer.
Naruto fucking boy, but
So typical.
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, so I see shoujo like I think over the years, I think at the beginning it did start as what David's talking about, like typically just a romance thing, but now I think that just manga and anime have just grown in such like different there's like so many genres that shoujo is now just like it had to disperse itself into like every other shows. So you can have like action shoujo that is like an action show, but it has like it's still geared towards the female audience. I just feel like shoujo in itself just pretty much means female, not so much like romance.
Yeah, so what you're saying,
Yeah.
like elements of shoujo can still appear in things that are like actiony or adventure, but still hold that shoujo kind of element to you, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Kind of like shonen can be like in a comedy or whatever, like Gintama, I guess. But
yeah, and then I would call that a shoujo. I'd just be like,
okay,
yeah, that's a shoujo now.
right, okay, cool. So going back to you, Helen, Studio Ghibli has all these like really strong female characters, and you said Miyazaki said that he wants to empower girls. So would you say,
Yeah.
expanding that, would you say all mangas and animes who have very strong female protagonists, would you kind of say that's falls in the line of shoujo as well?
Yeah, I think it would because, like I said, it gears towards girls, and I think like that whole element of like just it being geared towards girls makes it a shoujo because even if it has like a strong female character, it's just trying to show them that there's more that they can be and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So pretty much you like these strong female protagonists because they kind of I guess exemplify like characteristics that girls would want to see within themselves. Or
Yeah, it's kind of like a role model kind of thing. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like it's like such a sexist thing. Like just saying so only girls should get anything out of shoujo.
No,
right?
right. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
guys like shoujo as well, of course.
Yeah.
Like girls can like shonen.
Shoujo is so sexist.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go into not sexist comments. What are
Alright.
some popular series in shoujo, like manga or anime, that you personally like? And also, I kind of want to ask, before that, which do you prefer, shoujo anime or shoujo manga? Like, which over the other?
Shoujo manga for sure.
Oh, yeah?
Why is that?
I think I would prefer it more because, well, you see the character development more. In a lot of animes, they kind of either just jump right into the development or just like they cut it all together. I think the manga just shows more of the plot, more of the development, more of everything.
Okay,
So-
yeah, that makes sense because they have like a budget and like a finite amount of time to
Right.
tell a story, so they're gonna have to cut
Yeah.
things in the anime.
Yeah, it's not a manga. It's more of like a webtoon manhwa, but it's called Cheese in the Trap, and they adapted it to like a Korean drama, for example. And they kind of cut her like Korean dramas and anime kind of goes, and shoujo anime it kind of goes hand in hand because they have a lot of the same elements, but they just kind
they
of
do.
cut. Yeah, they just
Yeah.
kind of cut straight to her development instead of actually showing it. So people were just like, "What the heck? Where did she get all this like strength from?"
Okay, gotcha.
If that makes sense at all.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, cool. Now that we've got that out of the way, what are your favorite shoujo manga series then?
I really like Vampire Knight. That's a really old one. That's a classic one that people love.
Is that by Clamp?
Vampire Knight?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I like Planet. That was an anime too. A lot of people like that.
Oh yeah, that was a visual novel too. They have so many
Oh, yeah.
things of that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a love series, Jesus.
Yeah.
And then I keep mentioning Orange, but there was so much hype on my Instagram for Orange for like every single chapter. I updated them every single chapter until the very end. And then when the anime came, everyone was so hyped. Like we rarely get 1,000 likes, but we hit like 1,700 likes just for Orange.
Oh, nice.
Everyone, yeah.
Mhm.
Here's a kind of a question for like Orange. Do you think that animes or like shoujo manga is getting an anime adaptation? Do you think that's really rare?
For it to be adapted?
Yes.
I don't think so. I think most shoujo anime adapted from a manga or a novel.
Yeah, I think it's much rarer to have. Oh wait, no, David,
Wait,
readjust
what
your
is-
question.
So my
Yeah,
question is, you know a lot of shonens get adapted into animes, right? So
Yeah.
like Bleach,
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
Do you think that a lot of shoujos, like shoujo manga, do you think it's rare for them to get an anime adaptation? So in the case of Orange the shoujo manga is getting an anime adaptation. Obviously that's airing this year, right? And everyone's like really hyped about it, and So my question is, do you think it's rare that it gets adapted? And then two, do you think it's rare that such a hype series gets adapted?
Not at all, because it's like if the manga is popular, a lot of fans are they're gonna demand an anime from the studio. So I don't think it's rare at all.
Gotcha.
Okay. Another question, kind of branching off that, not really at all. Um, what is your viewpoint on animes that adapt like whatever, like one novel? What's it called? Like 10 chapters of a shoujo, and then it stops, and they don't make another second season, and the ending makes you go read the manga. Like it's a manga bait, you know? Like
Yeah,
like ending like go read the books now kind of thing. What do you think of shows like that?
they're trash.
Oh,
No. And
really?
people get so hyped for it, and then it just ends right there. People are like, what on earth just happened? It's kind of like, okay, Attack on Titan isn't shoujo, but it's kind of like Attack on Titan. People got just so tired of waiting, and then they read the manga, and they're like, all right, you could have just done that. Like, it's such a waste. People get so annoyed by that when it gets like halted like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because you like prefer manga over anime, and so I would just assume that you'd be like, cool, I got to see it animated. Now I'm going to go read about all of the plot development and kind of thing. But wow, that's really, really interesting. Yeah, we hate that. I think David hates it. I hate it because it's like
Yeah, Christian hates it a lot more than
I don't read manga like at all. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, fuck you, give me more anime. But
Yeah.
okay. Where would you recommend people start in, like, say I'm a 14-year-old girl and I saw Ouran High School Host Club and I'm like, holy fuck, I really want more of this. Like, where is a good starting point kind of thing to get into shoujo?
That's a good question.
Was there a like series that you were introduced to that is like the classic series, and they're like, oh, you
Well,
should
she
read
said
this?
Vampire Knight. Or
Yeah, I
whatever.
think Vampire Knight, Skip Beat, Fruits Basket. I think those are like really
Fruits
easy.
Basket. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fruits Basket brings a lot of memories too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think those
Okay.
are really.
So kind of follow to that question. And again, like I don't watch a lot of shojo, and I don't think Christian watches a lot of shojo either. So, all these shojo series, and you've read like 90 or 100 mangas, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not all shojo, but that's a lot of them are shojo. So like, what separates a good shojo story from another, right? Like, what are the characteristics of like, oh, this shojo is great, but this one is like not as great.
I think a bad one would be if it, like, back to character development that we talked about earlier. Like, if if the female character just never develops, like all the female readers just lose interest because oftentimes there's like sometimes they'll just stay fussy and annoying, and people are like, all right, I'm over it. Like everyone else around them develops except for them. Or like an annoying female enemy that just stays there the entire series. Nobody likes that. I think that would make it a really bad shoujo.
Okay, yeah. I feel like character development is really important in
Yeah.
shows in general, but especially in shoujos because that's what the whole show is
That's-
about.
that's-
Is
yeah,
about
that's what it
emotions
is.
and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
interactions.
Relationships. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one thing that I can relate to that is harem animes. Like, if you have a harem and the main character is still a fucking oblivious piece of shit,
Yeah.
like everyone just gets so upset, and the only thing that keeps you from keeps you watching it is to see like the girls try to fight for his love, even though he's not gonna like pay attention, or he's still not gonna know like the innuendos that everyone's giving him. So. I think that me and David have watched. I don't know. Maybe harem isn't shoujo, and it gears more towards boys. Just my guess.
There's
But
reverse harems for girls too for shoujo.
I love reverse harems like so much. I wish there were more out of them, but like I don't know. Okay, hold on one second again. I'm turning off.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're a blob again. I turned your camera.
Again?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
connection's pretty wonky.
Wow, Helen, get better internet. Jeez.
It's never this horrible.
Wow.
God.
Literally a blob.
Oh,
I'm really having this. Yeah.
connection. Yeah. There's not much else I can do with this connection. No, it's okay. I think we just have to kind of wait it out
Yeah.
until your connection gets back together. So I guess in the meantime, I think I'm still streaming.
Yeah.
So
I think so too.
so me and David are just gonna talk for a second or for a little bit, Helen.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Sorry. Our special guest Helen is currently being attacked by anime aliens, and her internet is also being shoved downward, being cut. I don't know. I don't know what to say right now. I'm so bad at improving this. But
Yeah.
let's. Do you want to talk about what's gonna go on next week, David?
Oh, are we ending this already?
No,
or-
no, we're not ending it. I'm just trying to think
Oh,
of like
okay.
filler right here.
Okay, gotcha. So,
But
I mean, we can keep talking about things that we've seen that are kind of shoujo-like.
yeah, I wanted to bring up to Helen, which she will be back in whenever the aliens let her go. Um, that I've seen a lot of romance and comedies and moe shit, and
Uh-huh.
I wanted to know how you really, but I wouldn't consider them shoujo. So how do you differentiate all of those genres from shoujo kind of things? Because also, like, all of those shows do have strong females, but not really. They're not really the protagonists. They're kind of just like side
Right.
characters.
Can you name an anime that you're thinking about?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, no, hold on. Give me a sec. Yeah, like, no. I was gonna say, like, everything KyoAni, like, K-On! And stuff. Actually,
Yeah.
even, like, Myriad Color Phantom World.
Yeah.
Like, that show has a main character that is a boy, and all of the girls around him are way stronger than him, but they're not the main characters. And
Yeah.
it's like, I don't even know what the genre is. I guess fantasy, high school.
Adventure? I don't know. Supernatural?
Yeah, supernatural. But like I watched it and I wouldn't call it a shoujo. Does that make sense? And I feel like it should be a shoujo. Because the girls are like way better than him. You know, the girls are how he gets through the day. Through every episode, they like help him out, kind of thing. Ugh. Do you not see what I'm saying?
No, I see what you're saying. So what's your final question that you're trying to ask?
My final question is, what's the difference between comedy and romance
And then a
and
shoujo.
Yeah. And Helen, what's going on? Your
Helen,
camera
you're
looks-
black, yeah.
your camera
I'm
looks way better.
alive.
There we go. Aliens let her go. So, I guess I don't remember what we were talking about before the aliens took Helen away from us. But we'll just transport the last question I was talking about into Helen. That sounds so weird. Helen, were you listening at all? Like, was it messed up on your side?
It was sort of laggy, but I heard some of it.
Okay, so basically, I was just asking the question. Like, I've seen a lot of comedy and romance and moe shows, like Hibiki Euphonium or
K-On!
yeah, like K-On! Or Psychono, which is a harem. Like
Yeah.
Oran Host Club is a reverse harem, but it's also a shoujo. Is it because it's a reverse harem, or like what differentiates shoujo from harem? I mean, romance, comedy, harem, moe.
I think it depends on like, because like the moe stuff, it's usually like fan servicey, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
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 Doesn't that really have? Yeah.
Yeah.
Moe
I think-
stuff is pretty fan servicey, except for like K-On! Like some of it isn't fan servicey, like K-On! Or
Right.
like what is moe without fan service? Just K-On!
Just
basically.
cute girls, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cute things.
but like every other show that includes moe, it's like, oh, panty shot, and it's
Yeah.
like, I guess that's not shoujo anymore, is it?
Grab, yeah. So I guess what Christian's trying to say is, are there distinct things that separate a shoujo from anything else? So like,
Or is it just like The single difference is it's aimed towards a female audience.
I think it's like an all because you mentioned he BK Euphorium, I think.
Yeah.
Euphorium, right?
Which you should totally watch if you haven't watched it, Helen.
I will put it on my never-ending list of anime.
Okay.
I think, well, I'm looking at it now, and it's usually like all girls, and usually for shoujo, it's usually one girl and then a whole bunch of guys, and then some of the girlfriends. It's usually more geared towards what a girl would want. Like a girl wouldn't really want to be surrounded by all girls and watch all girls. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's more of a dude thing. So that I think that would make it not
true.
shoujo.
I want to watch girls surrounded by girls.
Yeah. So I think that's what would differentiate that.
Yeah, I also think that, and you can disagree or agree with me here, but I feel like shoujo's really emphasize the relationship, and versus like a comedy or like a moe. Like a moe is just like it's mostly cute girls doing cute things. And not saying that a moe can't be a shoujo, but shoujo would like a mainly shoujo thing would be like. No, it would not depend on anything like fan service or anything like that. It's just like, oh my god, is he gonna make me a bento, or should I make him a bento?
But are you referencing the last episode of Orange?
Yeah, I guess I subconsciously did that, but
So
I feel like that's super common as well. So yeah, I feel like it's just more of like the relationship and how the girl has their inner thoughts on like how the situation's unfolding. So
yeah, it's usually about like their romance life, like even if it's about like their personal life, like in Nana, it's mostly about their personal life, but romance plays a lot of like it's like heavily into anime as well. So I think that's what would make Nana a shoujo, for example, instead of just like a regular anime. Like
wait, hold on. You're lagging really hard again, and we did not catch any of that. Like that was all garbled. That was just awful.
Garbled.
It was happening before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe someone's uploading something in your house, and they're eating all the bandwidth.
Yeah. Maybe your dad's doing something.
You're working.
Yeah, that typically happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Helen. Technical difficulties.
Yeah. You're still a blob, Helen. Yeah.
It's really scary.
Yeah, it kind of is.
The
yeah.
picture is so scary. But
I can't wait to see it.
Oh my god.
it's so funny. Okay. Well then, let's try to not troubleshoot. Let's try to do what, David? What do you want to do?
I was gonna say, we can just keep talking about shoujo and then kind of end it in a bit. Talk about next week as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and you, let's shoujo this shit up.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to bring up Nozaki-kun,
Okay.
and I wanted to talk about how I feel like that's the closest shoujo thing, besides maybe like Orange, which is like straight shoujo that I've watched. Slash, I'm also reading Orange, Helen, so thanks for that recommendation. But yeah, Nozaki-kun.
Yeah, I feel like Nozaki-kun is just super funny, and it's a meta shoujo.
Yeah.
That's what's so funny about it. It's
Right.
like, hey, like this genre of anime, if you don't know it, it's not gonna be funny.
Right.
Like
right.
if you haven't watched a bunch of anime or a bunch of like stupid comedy, shoujo, romance comedy stuff, then like Nozaki-kun isn't gonna really tug that chord with you.
Yeah, you wouldn't get the references, like the meta references.
Yeah, like Nozaki-kun is definitely not a first time anime. Like,
Right.
oh, I want to get into this really strange genre of media of art. But
Right.
yeah, no, I totally agree. It is like if you want to know what shoujo is, like
Yeah.
definitely watch Nozaki-kun.
And it's like a shoujo that's not, in my eyes, like strictly a shoujo. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Shoujo.
like Orange is a shoujo, and I'm not gonna say any spoilers or anything, but it's about a girl and a guy and their relationship and like, oh god, bentos. But Nozaki-kun is kind of shoujo-ish, but the main thing is comedy. So like you were saying earlier, where like anime has grown so much where all these subcategories are just kind of meshing together, and I feel like Nozaki-kun is like a good example of that. Helen, you're kind of back, by the way.
Oh, hey.
Is she?
Hey,
What?
Yay! Yay! Uh,
yeah. So,
Hi, Helen.
did you catch any of that Nozaki-kun discussion?
Yeah, I definitely think it's not a starter anime because you would have to know what shoujo is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's definitely making fun of shoujo, but in a good
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is like funny. Yeah, like everyone needs to laugh at themselves every now and
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
don't, you're a stick in the mud piece of shit person. But
Damn.
but okay, I have another thing that isn't pertaining just to Helen. Actually pertaining just to David.
Okay.
I looked up a list of like most popular shoujo anime because I
Uh-huh.
watch anime. Sorry, not manga. I don't read ever. And one of the shows on there was Akatsuki no Yona or Yona of the Dawn.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So you watched a shoujo, loser.
Yeah, I
Uh,
did. Wow, I completely forgot. I watched that and I was just like, "This is." I had no idea. Have you seen that, Helen?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Okay.
I started
Discuss
watching it, and it was. I had no idea what it was about, except that it was about a princess and something and stuff goes on, and I was like, "Yeah, a lot of people like it. I'll watch it." And I watched all of it, and I was like, "Wow, this is so shoujo." There's like she's like a princess. There's so many like guys for her, and they're like trying to protect her. And then like I saw like the source material. It's very, very, very shoujo. So,
Yeah, you watched the reverse harem by accident.
yeah, I
Yeah.
What's that?
yeah, yeah. I guess I did.
Best.
That goes back to what Christian was saying about how shoujo can have, or shonen can have
Shonen?
like romance, and then shoujo can have action but still be shoujo, you know?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like Akatsuki no Yona is what
It's
is
like adventure. It's like
Yeah.
adventure and shoujo, but I feel like it's equally both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, wow, you're right, Christian.
Yeah,
Wow.
so not all shoujo is just like romance made for only girls or something like that.
Yeah.
Because like I watch a bunch of romance, and I don't know, like it's not a bad thing to be called a
Right.
shoujo
Right.
or something.
Yeah. I just always
Yeah.
feel like I don't know. Shoujo is just for like again like for girls. You
Yeah.
know, and it's aimed at girls, so I'm just like, oh, it's so girly. You know, I'm not gonna watch shoujo. Akatsuki no Yona.
And then
But,
you watch it, and then
Yeah,
you're just like,
exactly.
why am I feeling things? uh, did we have another? Did we hit all the questions on the list?
We kind of did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty
So,
much.
Helen, do you have any questions for us, pertaining about, I guess, shoujo manga and shoujo anime?
Why would she have questions for us? We don't know anything about shoujo.
Right.
That's what we've been saying the whole episode.
On the few shoujos that you guys have watched, like, what do you guys like about it? Because usually guys don't watch that kind of stuff, you know?
Hmm.
What do I like about it?
Yeah.
I could tell you something I dislike about it,
Okay.
and I don't know, and it makes sense the way it works. But like all the guys that the girl falls in love with, it's just this like 10 out of 10 pretty boy. He's just like so perfect.
Yes.
It's like I get it. They're supposed to be attractive, but like, wow, they're all attractive. Like, all, and they're all just wanting this this one girl, and then it's just drama of like who she's gonna end up with. So yeah, that's kind of one thing I kind of dislike about it, but it doesn't like ruin it for me or anything. So just like going back to Orange, Suwa and Kakeru,
Yeah.
they're both good-looking guys. Just want to throw that out there. You know? Super good-looking, and then the side character dude, definitely not as good-looking. He has like glasses. He's like,
Yeah.
you know,
He's just like there.
yeah. He's like he's
No one wants
he's
him.
a side character. Like 100%. She would never like try to go for him. He's too
Yeah.
like not as good-looking. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I like a lot of things because I love specifically like character development, romance kind of stuff. Like this last season, if you watched anything, Helen, I'm not sure if you watched Kisniver, but Kisniver was like Trigger's show, and like there was almost no real action in the show. Like it wasn't an action show. It was literally just like emotions, dealing with emotions, and
Yeah.
it was like I loved that shit. Like that was like my favorite show from last season. So when it comes to shoujo, like I don't feel uncomfortable watching like shows that have like a main female protagonist at all. Like I actually like really like them. Like Hibiki Euphonium.
Yeah.
Like it's just girls having to deal with band. Like girls don't like being in a band, or
Yeah.
they want to be better at band. And then like or on Host Club, like I don't know. They make the main character like so apathetic towards being a girl that she doesn't seem like a girl. It seems just like a dude hanging out with dudes, because that is like, you know, the plot of the show. She's supposed to be a dude, but like I don't know. I also really love all the like cheesy tropes of shoujo. So like Nozaki-kun, like every single like stupid cheesy trope, like, oh, he's gonna hold the umbrella for me, we're gonna walk home together, like, can I sit on the back of your bike things. Like as soon as I see that, I just feel like warm inside. Like, so I know a lot of people out there would just be like, oh, it's been overdone, and it's like, that's why it's good, because they keep doing it. Like, yeah, that's why memes are so funny, because everyone knows memes.
Yeah. So I noticed that you guys both watched Your Lie in April. Why did you guys watch that? Because that's really shoujo. That's like a touchy-feely shoujo kind of thing.
Is that a shoujo? I was wondering if that's
no
a shoujo.
idea it was a shoujo. Wow.
It's a shoujo. You guys watched another shoujo.
I watched it because I heard it was really good and it involved like music, and I played cello throughout high school and middle school, and I was just like,
that's so
well,
Asian.
Yeah, I know, right?
Asian.
And so, you know, I picked it up, and it just turned out to be like the saddest thing ever. So
I've seen it my whole life.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm checking it now. It's actually a shonen.
Shonen?
What the fuck? No,
what?
It's not. No, it's not.
Now I'm confused. It's so
okay.
shoujo.
I can see how they would say that, because it's like, no, I can't see it. Never mind. I take it back.
I can't see it at all.
That's wrong. That's wrong. Yeah, whoever tagged that genre is a troll. Because, yeah, no, it's definitely something that deals with emotions and characterization, not like action-y or anything.
He's trying to become the best pianist there ever was, and the power of his friends will get him there.
That is actually the plot. That's true. That is the plot. So I guess that's how it's a shonen. But yeah, no, the reason I watched it is because like I watch everything. Like I'm just on a rampage to watch like really highly rated things by people, and then I also like knew it was gonna be a really emotional ride, and like at some point I'm gonna have to cry while watching anime, and I figured this is the time. Last semester I was like, all right, like I don't have any romantic relationships in my life. I might as well just cry at other people's. So yeah.
I mean, that works. That's what
Yeah.
shoujos do. Even though it's supposedly a shonen.
Yeah, Well then, we're not gonna all just sit here and look at our screens. I was gonna say something really pointless about how shoujo manga works, but okay. Does this feel like a good stopping point, you guys? Like I think if we have a shoujo counter of this episode, like how many times the word shoujo was said, we have hit 100 by now.
Yeah.
We shoujo, but
Well, before we talk about what we're doing next week, is there any final words that you want to say about like the shoujo world at all? Like anything,
or any plugs that you'd like to make?
right? Any plugs that you want to make? Any last words that you want to say? Anything upcoming that you're like we should keep an eye on, or?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mentioned Ray Life before. I think you guys should definitely check it out. It's a really
I watched
pop-
the first episode the other day. It's
You like it?
No, not really. I thought
You
it was
not like it?
boring.
Damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay.
I have a coworker who just watched the whole thing in one day, and she said it was amazing. So
Just gotta wait for it, David.
Okay.
Maybe-
Yeah. I mean, I'm
maybe
only
it's
one
a
episode
she
in.
thing.
So.
But yeah, I'll definitely watch it. It's on my plan to watch, or it's on my queue for Crunchyroll. So like whenever I'm done with like so many fucking shows we're watching right now, I'll just be like, okay,
Yeah.
one day, Real Life, go. But
7 hours. Let's do this.
It's worth it.
Okay. Okay.
If you guys haven't watched Lovely Complex, you guys should watch that. That's a really popular shoujo.
It's
It's
an
a
anime
rom.
as well.
Yeah, it's a rom-com.
It's a rom-com.
Rom-com.
Everyone knows it.
Really? Wow,
Yes.
we're just behind.
I've never heard of it. How
I've
does
never
everyone
even
know it?
seen
I feel like
this.
It's so
I know so many
popular.
things. Wait, have you seen Toradora?
I have not.
Okay, me neither. Me neither. Whatever. Cut it.
Okay.
Cut that idea. Okay.
Wait, Toradora?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have. I just say it differently.
Oh.
That's a really classic one too.
Is that a shoujo? Okay, because it's just a romance, like, and the girl is really cool, but it has a guy main character, so I just assumed it's a romance, not a shoujo. But okay, so I feel like shoujo is rectangle, and romance and
Yeah.
comedy are square.
Yeah.
Follow me? So
Yeah.
shoujo is this overarching genre that everything pretty much just goes into it.
Yeah.
At this point. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
really like you can't. I feel like everyone's just like, oh, it's a romance shoujo.
Right, right.
Like, what's a seinen romance?
A
Seinen
same,
is usually
it's like
it's
adult
usually
themed, I feel
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Well, like
Has more
I
sexual themes in it.
yeah, I was just saying like what is a seinen romance? Like, what is the last adult romance that's not a shoujo you've heard of?
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, that's interesting.
exactly. Like, you don't really like pair those two together, but like
Yeah.
seinen means like adults geared towards male
Right,
audience.
right.
Yeah. So
Huh, interesting.
whatever. We're not gonna just like ponder these.
Yeah, so I guess my closing statements for shoujo for the topic is I guess don't be like me and be very narrow-minded.
Give it a try.
Yeah, give it a try. Like the world of shoujo seems to be like all-encompassing in the sense that like it can be a comedy, it can be adventure, it can be like all these things, and it's not just about girls and their feelings, and that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying like that's how I like view it, and I'm just like, oh man, I don't want to just like read a book about girls and their feelings. Yeah, and then here I am reading Orange and watching Orange. But yeah. So I guess I would just say that people should not shy away from that tag. If they see shoujo, they shouldn't say, "Oh, this is for girls." It's really for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
For sure.
that's
Okay.
how I feel about anime in general.
Yeah,
Like to
yeah,
non-anime viewers, people see anime and they're just like, "Oh,
Right.
that's for weeb trash."
yeah.
You're not wrong, but you can
You're not wrong,
also
but
you can be
give
weeb
it a
trash
shot.
too, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Just give it a try, everyone.
yeah, but I don't have any other closing statements about shoujo. Do you want to plug anything, Helen? I want you to plug it.
Yeah, same. You should plug it.
Okay, everyone should follow manga_nation on Instagram. We'll give you all these recommendations. You can be a weeb like us.
Yes.
Join us.
Yes, please. Yeah, I've been to their Instagram, and it has like so many posts, and like all the things are about shoujo, and it's all looks like really great. If I was into shoujo manga a lot, I'd be like, I love this, like I love that show, or like I want to read that kind of thing. So definitely, if you're on the fence about shoujo, check it out.
Right.
Check out their site.
Can followers follow you on Twitter or anything, or just
we don't-
mainly your your Instagram, IG? Well,
Just the Instagram.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would leave it at that too.
All right.
Quit being
Yeah.
so creepy, David. Okay, so I guess that wraps up this episode then. Next week, Gabby's going to come back from the Netherlands, or the Netherworld, that's what I meant to say, because I don't know where the hell she is, but she just keeps fucking leaving us. and, and it's pretty funny. What else?
And then we'll also be covering our thoughts and reviews on Tatami Galaxy. That is our next series that we'll be covering. Yep.
And
was our-
the topic. What's the second topic?
So yeah, the second topic will be Tatami Galaxy. This first topic will be fan theories and how fan theories kind of help the community.
Yeah, what they are, like what are our favorite ones and stuff.
Right.
So
How can it fuel discussion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Do you have any
Right.
closing statements, David?
So like I said, I recently made a Twitter, so you can find me at Daijoubu David. I'm not active at all. Like I don't even have one post. So, but feel free to follow me and ask me any questions. I'll be sure to check it.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna say anything else, cause
All right.
fuck that. But I guess yeah, that's the end of the episode.
Okay.
Just remember, Daijoubu.
Daijoubu. Oh wow.
大丈夫大丈夫大丈夫だよ大丈夫っぽい大丈夫大丈夫大丈夫大丈夫大丈夫大丈夫大丈夫大丈夫大丈夫か大丈夫大丈夫大丈夫だよ大丈夫なの大丈夫か大丈夫